Hi guys, welcome to Irish Footy Vlogs, and this is the prediction show for week 2 of the season. So today I'm just going to do a quick review of the games of the weekend and compare and contrast my predictions with the actual scores, and then I'll move on to the predictions for next week's games in the Premier Division and the First Division. So let's get into it. Now, Finn Harps came away with a 1-0 win over Sligo Rovers. That's a result I actually got right. I predicted Finn Harps to win at 1-0. I was a bit worried about Sligo going into the game. Finn Harps had 1 shot on target in the match. Sligo Rovers had 4. Carl O'Sullivan bundled in the winner for Finn Harps to give them the win, and it's a good start. Liam Buckley was not happy after the game. He essentially said that the Finn Harps pitch was crap, and he wondered why they couldn't get it up to standard. He said they're only down the road and their pitch is in great condition. Looks probably a bit of sour grapes as well. Finn Harps are entitled to do what they want with the pitch once it's playable, in my opinion, but I'm just more or less quoting what Liam said. So great start for Finn Harps there. Now, champions Dundalk got off to a fantastic start by beating Derry City 1-0 at Oriel Park. A 79th-minute goal from Dane Massey was enough to give them a win. It was a corner and he swept it in with his left foot. It was a good finish, although Derry be disappointed to allow a corner kick to actually, allow Massey to get a shot on the floor from a corner, which is always, I think, very disappointing. Now, Dundalk probably had the better exchange, as you expected. More possession, did 56% possession. Derry had 44% possession. 14 goal attempts for Dundalk, 9 for Derry, 7 on target Dundalk, 4 for Derry. But Dundalk keeper made 4 saves, Derry keeper made 6 saves. But Derry, and I know Declan Devine was happy enough with the performance, and he knows Oriel Park's a very difficult place to go. Dundalk would be delighted to get the win. I went for a draw in that game. I think I went for a 1-1 draw, but I went for a draw. I wasn't too far off the mark, I suppose. But a good start for Dundalk. Now, this one I got totally wrong. Cork City 0, Shelbourne 1. A late Kieran Kilduff goal gave Shelbourne all 3 points. I went for Cork to win 2-1. Great start for Shelbourne. A scrappy game by all accounts, and a scrappy and scruffy goal by Kilduff, but Shelbourne won't care. And some fantastic 3 points for them. Big disappointment for Cork, but I was just thinking there, they had no shots on target in the whole match at home. Very disappointing. Slightly edged in possession, 51-49. But you gotta try and work the keeper at home big time, especially against a team who's just come up. So we'll talk about Cork later in their next game. But very disappointing result for Cork. Very good result for Shelbourne though. A great start for them. Will give them a lift, give them good confidence, and a point would have been decent enough. So 3, excellent start for Shelbourne. Finished St Patrick's Leg 0, Waterford FC 1. I can go into this one a little bit more depth because I was at the game and I vlogged this, so make sure to check out that video. It was a match that Pats generally dominated, particularly in the second half. In the first half, though, Waterford, I have to say, started the better side. In the first 15-20 minutes, they created a couple of chances that they could have scored from. They didn't look more than likely. Created problems down the left as well. A lot of problems down Pats' right-hand side. I thought Wilson was quite good at times in going forward for Waterford, and they appeared to win every second ball, particularly in that first half, and they were in tough with the challenges. Pats didn't get any time in the ball and were giving it away quite a bit when they had the ball. Pats did warm to it though and got into it, and Billy King started to come into it on the left hand side. 0-0 at half time, you'd have to say, was fair. Second half, poor error by Robbie Benson, who went to play back to Clark, and it was pass back that was short. I think Michael O'Connor might have won it. Had the presence of mind to find Kevin O'Connor, who tucked it away with a lot of composure to give Waterford the lead. After that was all Pats, to be fair. Brian Murphy made some great saves. One from Forrester, which was headed for top corner. Another, I'm not sure who got in on it, but it was a fantastic save from a point blank save as well. Birmingham missed a sitter. Billy King caused havoc on the left wing for Pats. I don't know how many chances he created, but he nearly created every good opportunity that was going for Pats. They just couldn't score. Brian Murphy was fantastic in the goal for Waterford as well, and they defended quite well, but also rode their luck. So Pats will be disappointed with that defeat. I went for a 1-1 draw. Could have easily been 1-1. Waterford hung on at the end and claimed what is a fantastic win. They have a great record at Richmond Park, actually. I've talked about it before. They won twice there last season. But arguably this was the most impressive win because I think those games last season they won comfortably and fully deserved to win. But in terms of this game, Pats played quite well. They just couldn't finish off their chances. And Waterford hung on, and that kind of win can be more sweet. So good win for Waterford. Pats 0, Waterford 1. Big Dublin Derby the weekend finished Bohemians 0, Shamrock Rovers 1. The conditions were absolutely shocking. You could argue it should have been called off. It was a case of the pitch became very boggy due to conditions. Obviously the wind was very high as well, and it was a difficult game. Both teams, there were 3 goal attempts each, 1 on target for Bohs, 3 for Shamrock Rovers. The one on target that Bohs had was a fantastic save. It was a free kick. I think it might have been Ward. If not, it was Buckley. But I think it might have been Keith Ward who took the free kick. And Manus made a fantastic save to his left-hand side in the first half. It was heading for 0-0, but in the last 5 minutes, you could just sense, I was in with the Bohs crowd, you could just sense that they were getting edgy. You could sense the team was getting edgy, from goalkeeper to the back 4, really. They were panicky and jittery, and Rovers were dominating possession and probing. Eventually, obviously, the ball, it was a shot taken from distance, spilled by Talbot, but Green was onto it like a flash and finished it off. The game actually went, I predicted 0-0. I was obviously wrong, very close though, but it went the way I thought it would go. Very edgy opening day of the season, big derby, and conditions not helping both sets of teams either. So Bohs had a few blows going into the game. If they got away with a draw, they would have really taken it and be very, very happy with it, because Dinny Corcoran was injured in the warm-up. Danny Grant was out injured as well. These are key players for Bohemians, and I don't know what the story is with Danny Mandrew. He didn't start. There's no reports of any injuries or anything like that. So that's an interesting one, a curious one. Rovers, more or less, at a full strength team. We know they were missing Kavanagh, but Laverty is just as good as them, and that's the difference probably. So Joey O'Brien went off injured at one point, and Scales came on and I thought done very well for him. Jack Byrne done very well as well in the conditions. You can see the type of footballer he is, even in those conditions, his close control and ability on the ball was very good. So first blood to Shamrock Rovers, I guess. Bohs will be disappointed. They nearly hung on, I suppose, in the end, but just couldn't quite hang on. Lyons was obviously sent off, which didn't help, so they probably got a bit tired as well from that. I think the referee, I think he was a little bit picky, if I'm honest, overall. I think he could have let a few things go. There were a few challenges, I know, but the conditions, and I don't know, I just think he could have let one or things go. But so yeah, great start for Rovers. Now on to the predictions for the coming fixtures this week, and in the Premier Division is obviously fixture 2. I'll start off with Shamrock Rovers and Cork City at Tallaght Stadium. This is going to be a difficult game for Cork City. Terrible start at home to Shelbourne. Not just the fact they lost, but the performance was very blunt. No shots in that game. Rovers, great result to grind it out at Dalymount Park in the last minute, and it feels like a bonus 3 points for them. It's very hard to see anything. You can't make an argument for a Cork result here. New team, a lot of new players trying to bet in. They're up against Shamrock Rovers, one of the best teams of the league, who look quite composed at times actually against Bohemians and managed the game quite well. At home, and probably conditions you'd expect to be better. It's a difficult one. You know, they even had players like Neil Ferrugia who didn't play against Bohs, so the options are there. Missing a couple of players, and they can just bring in players seamlessly, and they have the squad. I think Rovers will win this comfortably. The opening weekends are actually very edgy, but this weekend I can see more goals. I'll go for Shamrock Rovers 2, Cork City 0 at Tallaght Stadium. I always think the second fixture of the season is interesting when both teams actually lose their opening game, and even though it's a long season, there's a certain amount of pressure in this game with Sligo Rovers playing St. Patrick's Athletic at the showgrounds. Of course, Liam Buckley coming up against his old club. They would have been very disappointed at defeat by Harps. Pats likewise against Waterford. But Pats played very well against Waterford, and to bring some of that intensity and form and direct play they had, you can only say that they're going to score goals, surely, in this game. Sligo, though, are always very difficult to beat at home. When they lose, it's very rare that they get a bit of a hiding. It's usually the odd goal, even against the likes of Dundalk and Rovers and teams like that. But I just have a feeling that Pats will come together for this one. Forrester might start in this one. I think he done well and he came on as a sub the last day. He did have a knock from the week before. So I think Sligo might endure a difficult start here. I'm going to go for Sligo Rovers 1, St. Patrick's Athletic 2. Now, Waterford meet Bohemians at the RSC, and this is going to be an interesting one because Waterford had a great win the opening day of the season. But in a way, they kind of rode their luck, so their performance level will probably have to be better all round, particularly going forward for this game. Bows, Mandrew, you'd imagine, will start the game. Danny Grant, I don't think, was on the bench, so I'm not sure if he'll figure. I'm going to take it he won't. Dinny Corcoran may not play either, I'm hearing, so this is going to be a difficult one, but I think Bows might nick this one. I think Waterford, I did say they rode their luck against Pats at the weekend, and I think Bows will come out fighting in this one and feel they really need to win this game. But Waterford are a very dangerous team and can grind you down a bit as well, like even when they don't play particularly well. So Bows are going to have to really perform here to win, but I do think they'll win here. I'm going to go for Waterford FC 0, Bohemians 1 at the RSC. Now, Tolka Park, we have a very interesting game. Shelbourne welcome the champions. I'll be going to this game, be vlogging it as well. It's going to be a packed Tolka Park, and Shelbourne are going to be really up for this one. They brought a great crowd down to Turner's Cross as well. Dundalk had a very good start against a tough Derry side. They'll be used to occasions because I think this will be an occasion. Shelbourne, Tolka Park, home, first game of the season, champions Dundalk. I think Shelbourne will battle in this game. I think they'll look to hit Dundalk in the counter-attack. Dundalk will own the ball, I think, and be patient, and eventually I think they'll grind Shelbourne down. So, whereas I think Shelbourne are going to put in a good shift here, I think Dundalk might nick this one. I'm going to go Shelbourne 0, Dundalk 2, but not as comfortable as the scoreline suggests. Final game in the Premier Division is a big derby. Derry City take on Finn Harps at the Brandywell. Derry will be reasonably pleased with their performance up at Oriel Park against the champions. Finn Harps will be delighted with the 3 points against Sligo. This is a big derby early in the season. Derry obviously have the quality. Barry McNamee will come up against his former club, the former Derry man for Finn Harps. The Lap is on loan. I presume he's allowed to play in this fixture. He's on loan from Derry at Finn Harps as well. So that's an interesting one as well. Derry, I think, have good attacking threat. They've got good players in the attacking areas. And I think it was probably difficult to show that against a very good Dundalk side. But I think the likes of Malin, Figueroa, McDonough, etc. will have a bit of more freedom in this game. Derry City, derby match, but I do think the extra quality will count. So I'm going to go for Derry City to win 2-1. So Derry City 2, Finn Harps 1 at the Brandywell. Now on to the First Division, and about time the First Division is starting. I don't want to get into the politics of what went before, so let's get straight into it. Cabinteely take on Bray Wanderers at the weekend, and this all feels like a derby. I know Bray are in Wicklow and Cabinteely are in Dublin, but they're very close, and there's Pat Devlin was manager, of course, of Bray, and now he's with Cabinteely, and Kieran Marty Waters was a big player for Bray, now he's with Cabinteely. So, interesting fixture, much changed teams. I think Cabinteely might find this one a little bit difficult. I think they've a brand new team. Kieran Marty Waters is still there, so he'll give them something, and he's a key man for them, he really is. Bray, the Seagulls travelling to Cabinteely, I think they'll have aspirations certainly of a playoff place this season, and I think they might nick this one. Cabinteely 0, Bray Wanderers 1. Now, Eamon DC Park, Galway United entertain Athlone Town. I think the Galway faithful will be going into this season with a lot of optimism after a poor season last season. They should be strong at home, at Athlone. New manager, new players. Bit more of a project for them, I think, over the next couple of seasons. Galway United, definitely big favourites here. I see them challenging. I'll get more into detail into the Division 1 preview video that I'll be doing. So, look, I'm going to go for Galway to win this one at home. Galway United 2, Athlone Town 0. City Collins Stadium, Longford 10, entertain Shamrock Rovers 2. A game where I think Shamrock Rovers 2 are going to struggle, but again, I don't want to get into too much detail because I'll be talking about it in the preview, First Division preview video. This is the prediction video. Longford at home, I think will be strong this season. They're going to be one of the challengers. Rob Manley up front will be hoping to recapture capture the form really he showed last season at Cabinteely. I found it very difficult for Shamrock Rovers' young side to come away with anything here. I think Longford might win this comfortably. I think I'm going to go for Longford 3, Shamrock Rovers 1. Now, for me, Drogheda United, the title favourites, travel to Cove this weekend. It's a long journey down for the Drogs, but it's difficult to see anything but a Drogheda win here. I think Cove did well last season, actually, to be fair, but I think they might struggle this season. I think they're going to finish lower down. Drogheda kept all their players, Chris Lyons, you've got Doyle, you've got Wixit, you've got Meany, etc., etc. Good attacking flair in this division, and I think they've added to their defence. Their pre-season wasn't great, but they came up against very good sides in pre-season. Again, going through it in the preview show, but I think they'll win comfortably down here. I'm going to go Cove Ramblers 0, Drogheda United 2. Now, finally, Wexford at home to the students of UCD. And this is one of the most interesting games in the First Division, in my opinion, because Wexford made a lot of changes and brought in some good players that were awful last season, as we all know. UCD were a Premier Division side that went down. You never know what you're going to get from UCD because of all the young players they have. And it all depends sometimes whether they can unearth a gem or two, which they often do. So they're probably the hardest team to predict. But going into the game, I think it's going to be a difficult one for UCD, actually, because I think Wexford are going to be buoyant at home. But I think UCD will come away with a point. And I'm going to go Wexford Youths, is going to call them. Wexford at C1, UCD 1. So that's it for the prediction show for this weekend. Next week, I'd say I'll go into more detail into the First Division. I didn't want it to clash with some of my points I was making in the First Division preview for the actual season, where I predict where the teams are going to finish. And I'm going to Talca Park this weekend to vlog Shelburne and Dundalk. So I'll leave it there, guys. Please watch the recent videos I have up of the vlogs and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Thanks, and I'll see you later. Good luck. Bye-bye.